Alright, so we're here in the T90 Titans League 2, which is actually a Nomad tournament by the looks of things. And we've got Sitaux here in the blue trunks up against the Viper, the yellow. So the Viper on the Portuguese, Sitaux is on the Malians. This weird map, which is a bit like, I guess, coastal plus Mediterranean. Because yeah, we got this water in the middle here with lots of fish. A lot of fish in the outer water as well. Not a huge amount of gold for our players, and actually, I'm gonna say it looks like Viper a little bit luckier in terms of the gold. Like he's got this over here. So I was up on the top side, both our players have got a lot of gold to go for. Today's really only just got this gold here. This one definitely closer to Viper. So Viper on Portuguese, Sitaux on Malians. Portuguese already get a nice gold cost reduction. Malians actually got cheaper buildings, and they've got gold conservation. They've actually got 30% more gold from the gold mines, so might be of advantage to him here. I think these are both probably pretty good civs for these Nomad starts. So Sitaux already fishing over the far side of the map. Viper about to start fishing as well. A little bit slower on that, but I don't think it's going to be of any great loss to him, because it should be a little bit safer for him in theory to really defend this. While Sitaux is fishing the far side of the map, but I guess the advantage of that is, in the long run, he can clear out all this fish and maybe even this berries, prevent Viper from being able to gather any of it. So Sitaux, slight Vil lead because he's got that earlier fishing boat. Like when he started out, pretty much had this guy go straight to the shoreline. The player's been doing a bit of goat scouting. Such a slow early game in AoE 2. I suppose that's the case for all the games, really. Not going to see any combat until sort of early age 2 at the earliest, generally, unless someone's deciding to rush. Both our players actually opting to have the villager that's fishing place the building, the house. It's interesting. I mean, it's a bit of a risk having the buildings this far outside of your base, but at the same time, nothing's going to really hit them. Like, as an AoE 0 and AoE 4 player, you don't really see a lot of houses being built outside of your initial town center radius as such, but I think in AoE 2, and to a lesser extent AoE 3 and AoM, that's probably a little bit less likely that you're going to lose it to early aggression. Whereas I think AoE 0 and AoE 4, it tends to be quite easy for your early map control skirmish armies to actually clear out structures placed early. I think they're just generally able to clear them a little bit quicker relatively. Because I mean, house walling in pretty much any of the games, except for AoE 4, funnily enough, because, you know, it's basically designed so that you can't house wall. It's pretty common in AoE 0, AoM, AoE 3, well, maybe not so much AoE 3. It's a little bit less reliable there. But yeah, like AoE 2, basically have a semi-wall off with your houses. And AoE 2, you'll often, you know, invest in a complete wall off. early on our players just aging up. Viper trying to get a boar. Sitau's finished on his boar gathering, so he's letting about 20 food go to waste there. Not really a big deal though. He's already got a nice fishing eco. Bearing in mind Viper does too at this point, I think. Evened up in terms of the fishing boat. No, Viper's actually pulling ahead in that regard. So Sitaux, I think, must just be conserving wood for the moment, and he's added a couple of houses. He does have that cheaper wood, so cheaper wood cost on buildings, so it's a bit. Ah yeah, voyages generate wood in addition to food. The Viper's not actually gathering any forage food, so I'm not too sure why he's now pulled ahead of Sitaux in terms of the dock count, the fishing ship count, because it's up to 5, 6 there. Yeah, Viper's pulled ahead by 2 fishing ships, but Sitau's actually got a an extra dock out over his opponent here, I think. So he's got the fishing over on the far side. He's got 2 docks in close proximity here to try and harass Viper's fishing eco. And I guess this way he's got pretty much a complete lockdown of all of this coastline. Like he's going to get another dock up here. You know, he's got the goat there, which I imagine he's probably eventually going to go onto that water. So the fire galley going to start harassing fishing ships. Viper's field age slightly slower than Sitau's, but he's going to be able to get fire galleys of his own. Just sort of sending a couple of fishing ships to go on the run. He's going to want to stop training them and just produce fire galleys for the moment. But it looks like Sitau's got the jump on him in that regard. Good number of his own fire galleys there. Viper was actually trying to use the fishing ship micro that actually interrupt the attack of the fire galley there. So he's managed to pick one off so far. He's actually managing to block still. Finally that fire galley does go down. So it's pretty even in terms of the fire galley kills, but Sitau's picked off a couple of fishing boats. In the meanwhile, he is still fishing himself uninterrupted. Another fire galley there. And so Viper's fishing eco is completely interrupted. It looks like he's cut his warship production there. Well, Sitaux has cut his as well. It's pretty smart to not over-invest in it from here. So it looks like is Viper trying to age up? Yeah, he's getting castle age already. Well, Sitaux, I think he'll be trying to do the same. This isn't far off. He's maybe slightly over-gathered on the gold here. Or maybe he's looking to get a bunch of upgrades when he ages up. His age up is now on the way. Viper's is a little bit faster. Yeah, even with that small army lead, it's going to take a while to get these both these docks down. And it's even slower with land units attacking houses, especially if you've got any archers in the mix. That's why it's quite safe to actually place these buildings here, and if you've got a quicker gathering rate back at home, you know, it's always worthwhile then. Well, looks like Viper is going to try and wall himself in here. Sitaux is going to have seen this. So Fire Galley on the way. Viper. Fire Galley a little bit slower. But ooh, if Sitaux can pull... I mean, if Viper can pull the villager back, he might be able to get away with repairing here. But Sitau's shipped all of his fire galleys around. Stables out Sitaux, while Monastery for Viper is playing a little bit greedy there on the land. He's not really worried about early army yet. Viper, while he's repairing it, 3-to-1 fire ships, he's not going to win that trade. And that other fire ship was actually focusing on a fishing boat, so it wasn't really contributing towards that fight there. I think things are going Sitau's way here. He's had mostly uninterrupted fishing, and this game of cat and mouse on the water, he's starting to pull ahead of Viper on, but Viper going to be able to quick wall himself in, protect his villagers, placing down houses and whatnot. So Sitaux doesn't want to risk having the knight converted, but it's too late. So really quick conversion there. So Sitaux, second town centre going down. Castle defensively there for Viper for the moment. So Viper trying to get a scout, maybe get a villager kill or two if he can. He's converted this knight, so really anything he can get out of this is a bonus. Bit of a scout, a villager kill, plenty there, and he can lock up this other knight of Sitau's. Meanwhile, he's going to get a relic. So that monk's really paid off. Not only did he help defend the base, he's now snatched up that relic. But it might be difficult trying to grab this other relic. And Sitaux has actually brought a villager forward. What's he looking to do here? So Viper's going to grab another relic, but Sitau's going to try and wall in just past this other relic. He's got a high tower out there with the villager. It's good. Good vision of him to get out of there without even risking getting converted at all. The wall will at least... Ooh, we probably needed to get slightly longer on that gate. Viper's already snatched up that relic, but the wall does delay it by a couple of seconds. They're going for these berries over here. So they're having to try and wall up against the organ gun push. So with monks and organ guns, I think Sitau's going to have to try and get mangonels here if he wants any chance at really holding off here. He's got a huge advantage on the water, but I think he's also slightly invested a little bit more in the water at this point, and now those villagers stack up a bit funny there. Tower does get finished, but not before a bunch of villagers go down. Sitaux, I think he did commit to second town centre a little bit quicker than Viper, and does still have that water advantage, so his eco production is certainly giving him a bit of an edge. He can afford to drop a couple of villagers. He needs to try and get this gate, this wall off finished up before this little push of organ guns from Viper. So the Viper doing a great job here at pushing forward on the land, making up for the fact that he doesn't have the eco. This to go on terribly long unless he can get a lot of value, snipe some villagers, force his opponent around the map. And meanwhile, Viper is also snatching up as many relics as he can. And scouting out well. So he's taking back a lot of control of the map. And eventually that water lead for Sitaux is going to start to diminish a bit. He might even have to throw down some other docks just to keep gathering the fish as quickly as he was. And these watchtowers are only doing so much. It's only a fairly limited number of mangonels. They're unupgraded. So they're not really going to be able to do a huge amount to hold off Viper. So they are even range. Mangonels, I think, do have the splash advantage over the organ guns. It's a bit of a critical mass of them already, really. And the monks are going to deny really a lot of support for the mangonels. Like, you can't bring villagers to repair them. You can't bring knights to try and jump on top of the organ guns unless you can actually bring enough that you're able to kill all the monks as well. So Viper really pushing forward here. Some nice shots from the mangonels there by Sitaux, but now they've all fallen and so has the siege workshop, so the guard towers are left on the defense pretty much alone at the moment. So Viper, I think this has been pretty successful for him because that score lead, that eco lead that Sitaux had over him, is not really here anymore. Viper's brought some repairers forward. I don't want any of these organ guns going to waste. They do cost quite a hefty amount of gold, I believe. So if he can save them through repairs, I think it's twice as efficient as just replacing the unit, building it again. Ooh, Sitau's got this builder. What's he doing with this guy? Where are you going? Sitaux. Sorry, Viper's bringing some monks across for some reason. Oh, Sitau's just building more docks. Fair enough. Is Viper going to try and convert his ships? I think he is. He manages to convert fishing boat, and he won't be able to convert another one for a little bit until he brings some more monks. Meanwhile, these fire ships are going to be able to drive that monk back from the shore. I was going to say harass him, but they're more likely going to try and kill him. Viper's able to save him in time. He's going to be able to convert another fishing ship of Sitau's. Or villagers are coming around to maybe get on that berries for being converted as well. Now the scout cav have to try and pick off the monk, but unable to get a second one there. So Sitaux has a castle of his own at this point. He's gone up to 3 TC as well, and Viper, oh yeah, he's gone up to 4 in the meanwhile as well. Push fly Viper. There's actually not a huge amount of army here for Sitaux. He's just got a couple of mangonels at this point and just some perimeter towers. So he's not going to Imperial anytime soon. He needs a lot of food before he's able to get there. I mean, losing a couple of houses is not of huge consequence to at the moment. But he's going to need to take a fight because Viper's going to start really pincering him here and eventually try and work away at that wall. And eventually he's going to have the critical mass where he can take out the tower with organ guns alone. And if Sitaux hasn't got the Imperial and hasn't got Castle or something up over here in time, he might lose a section of his base. Ooh, and Viper has actually managed to convert one of the fire ships. He's taken an Imperial age, just slightly quicker than Sitau's here at the moment. So Sitaux slower on the central water there as well. So this time he's not going to be having a water advantage over his opponent. Because I mean, with this little travel time here, it'd be a little bit more efficient than heading all the way out into the outer corners for the water around the outskirts of the map. Ooh, but Viper actually overextending a little bit there, trying to get villagers in the midst of that. So Sitaux able to kill some of those organ guns for the cost of a villager. And I mean, at this stage of the game, when you've got multiple TCs, it probably comes more down to the unit costs. Early on, when you know, dropping a villager is super important. But once you've got, you know, 3 or 4 town centers and water, then it's sort of more, well, losing a unit for a villager means that, well, you're often losing more resources. Trebuchets here for Viper. Now with that castle up, he's going to be able to protect this trebuchet against the fire galleys. Viper's doing everything for the win here. He's even got this villager attacking another villager. Creeping forward with his trebs. Sitaux trying to get the stone to repair the castle, but he's run out of it for now. Losing more and more of his warships to conversions here too. Eventually it's going to make it impossible for him to really fish around the map at all. And so GG, Sitaux taps out in game number 1.